Welcome to a special edition of the G5 Hive. Today, we're thrilled to be joined by standout talent from the MAC, a player who's not only made noise on the field, but is just as impressive off of it. He's a product of Hopewell High School in Petersburg, Virginia, where he earned 3A Region Defensive Player of the Year honors. Last season, he was named First Team All-MAC and Academic All-MAC, racking up an eye-popping 156 tackles, second most in the country. He added 16 and a half tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and an FBS best 7 forced fumbles, setting a new school record in the process. In Buffalo's bowl win over Liberty, he dominated with 13 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and a pick six that we saw in the opening video there, earning defensive MVP honors for the Bahamas Bowl. When we spoke with beat reporter Rachel Lindsay, she didn't hesitate to call him the leader of the Buffalo defense. He's standing in at 6'3", weighs 235 pounds, and wears number 2 for your Buffalo Bulls. Please welcome to the show, Red Murdock.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you, man. Let's kind of like start at the beginning, and who introduced you to football? What got you interested in wanting to play football?
Yes, sir. So around the time I was 7 years old, one of my cousins, he's like my mom age though. He was a coach for nearby the Petersburg Panthers. And yeah, he had just told me to come to one of the practices. I knew nothing about what I was doing, but I did pretty good. Then he got me on the team and been rolling since then.
Well, when you were growing up, did you play any other sports?
I mean, I played a ton of street ball. I was, the neighborhood where you had I was the house that had the basketball hoop outside, but I only played track, like actually like organized. So yeah, I know I wasn't too good at basketball. I was more like the Dennis Rodman type, but yeah, I just did track, and that was about it.
If you weren't playing football at Buffalo, could you see yourself playing another sport there?
I don't know. I don't really think so. I'm pretty sure in football, yeah, that was really my call, and I'm not too talented in any of the other sports.
We were talking earlier about how you got your nickname Red, and it's kind of stuck with you throughout the years. Can you tell those listening that story?
Yes, sir. So right when I was born, I came out, I was really light, and I had red hair and freckles, and yeah, it's really ever since then, the name Red just stuck. When I was little, I was like a chunky baby. So at first it was Big Red, then once I grew up, it turned into just Red. So that's about it.
College football has changed a lot over the years with NIL and the transfer portal. What's your take on those changes, for better or worse, and how have they impacted your experience?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely it's a lot of good and bad with it. The negative part is just kind of, it gets to a point where it somewhat compromises the integrity of like why you're playing a game in a sense. But the good part is the amount of money being helped to change a lot of people's lives, be able to support their families from home. And a lot of people, like back in the day, I talk about the struggles of like their college careers and really having to figure out where the next meal is coming from. We don't have to worry about that, thank God. But yeah, sometimes it just gets to a point where a lot of people are just chasing the wrong things in a sense and miss out on their opportunities for the main purpose was getting to the next level. But yeah, in my experience of it, it's just been a blessing to be able to get anything to be able to support my people back home.
Awesome. During your recruitment, what was your favorite part of the recruiting process?
My favorite part would probably just be the official visits. They were just showing a lot of love, fancy dinners, all that stuff. Yeah, that was probably the best part for me for sure.
What was your least favorite part?
For me specifically, my recruiting was a little bit different. So I sent out a lot, like hundreds of emails, Twitter DMs, and knowing that 99, maybe 98% of them were going to never get responded to and get an automated response from like from some emails or something like that. Or yeah, stuff like that. It was pretty demoralizing to a point. But yeah, it was a grind for sure, but it got me to where I am now. Even my coach at Fort Union, I got here, but he sent the Facebook inbox to one of our former coaches at Buffalo, and thank God he opened it.
Yeah. What ultimately led you to choose Buffalo to continue your academic and athletic journey?
So yeah, the last staff, they were really good with recruiting. Well, we're really good recruiting now, but like, yeah, they recruited me really consistently and showed a lot of love. It ultimately came down probably between Richmond and Buffalo, but I figured it would be best for me to get a change of scenery and yes, go somewhere where I would have to take a nice little plane ride to go back home.
What advice would you get to high school players that are navigating the recruiting process today?
Yeah, like I said earlier, like with me, I didn't have any offers out of high school, and it was it was a grind for sure. I would just say like don't get caught up in the highs and lows and like stay persistent in trying to achieve your goals. Try to detach your ego from the stuff as well because I mean, yeah, it's gonna hurt a little bit not getting any response. Like 99% of your emails, text messages, DMs, all that stuff, you're not gonna get a response. You might get a thank you and never get responded again. You gonna get ghosted, all that stuff. It's gonna be all right. Just keep pushing, and all you need is one person, one team to really get a good fit. That's really all that matters. Then the next thing probably is just when you get to the point of having visits and all that stuff, get a good idea of the locker room environment from other players, not just your host or not just the coach. Get a real insider perspective because that's gonna be the shoes that you're gonna be feeling soon.
When you started your Buffalo career, you started off wearing number 26 before switching to number 2. Is there any kind of story or meaning behind those numbers for you?
I mean, so my two favorite players of all time are Sean Taylor and Ryan Shazier. So Sean Taylor wore 26 in college, and I'm pretty sure just about everybody wants the single digit thing, and I know I definitely did. And Ryan Shazier wore 2 in college as well, so that's someone factored into it. Dude before me that wore 2, well, Elijah Blades, he wore 2 my freshman year. He's probably one of the most talented players I've ever seen. So it was kind of good to step into those, like fill those shoes. But also before Elijah, it was Gaddafi Wright, who's also from the same region as me. He played linebacker. He got a shot in the NFL. So it was like the number had some good lineage to it as well.
Well, in that bowl game that we saw in the preview, you wore number 41, which kind of has a special meaning for Buffalo football. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. So every week, somebody who the program believes that represents what Solomon. So 41 is worn to honor Solomon Jackson, who passed away about 10 years ago now. And basically, every year we honor him by somebody who represents what he was about, being able to wear that. So yeah, I just every time I get a chance to wear it, it's actually something really, really special to me, and being able to kind of keep his legacy going and put some good tape up in his number, I feel like it really means a lot to me. And being able to wear that versus Liberty last year, because the year before then I had wore it. That was my first time wearing it when we played Liberty in 2023 and we lost. I had a bad game and I was really upset about that, especially wearing 41 doing that. So it was definitely a blessing. Like nobody could have written it better for me to have that game and that number against that specific team that I won my high school state championship on Liberty's field. So it was pretty cool, full circle moment.
That was pretty, and you played awesome that game. I remember I was sitting in a bar in Norfolk, Virginia, watching the game, and I was like, man, like, just you couldn't have wrote the script any better. I don't think.
Absolutely.
You got the chance, from the time you were a freshman through last year, to play alongside and learn from some great linebackers like James Patterson and Sean Dolak. What did you learn from those guys, and what was that experience like?
I mean, it's big names like James and Dolak, also Joe as well, but also like some former walk-ons, that helped me along the way as well, like Jacob Zimmer and Jason McCarthy, Fabian Weiss. He's not a walk. He played a lot, but now he's playing overseas in Germany. All those guys, I was really blessed. So like I was in just about the perfect room. They really took me under their wing and they taught me what it's like to be a pro right now. So once I get my opportunity at the next level, I'll just I'll hit it in stride. From like my freshman year, I was an early enrollee and I played spring ball and I was taking 1 reps. And I was like 60 reps in practice. And I had a hard time adjusting, but they really helped me throughout the whole way. And when I was down, they weren't the type to like kick you while you down, all that stuff. They really helped me. So I try to keep that trend going throughout the linebacker room at least. Yeah, Yeah, those guys really helped me in a plethora of ways on and off the field. So yeah, I'm eternally grateful for them.
Is there an NFL linebacker that you like to model your game after, or that you love to study?
Yes, sir. Well, I don't necessarily try to like model my game after necessarily anyway. I try to just fit what I do best. But I'm a huge fan of Fred Warner. Yeah, a lot of people on the team would say like Red Warner, Fred Warner Jr., all that stuff. Just like I think it's just the dreads and the way that I be trying to get the ball out. But yeah, Fred Warner is probably one of my favorite linebackers. I like Jeremiah, number 6 for the Browns. I'm not trying to mess up his last name, but
JOK.
yeah, dog. Yeah.
And he's from Virginia too.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Yeah. Ryan Shazier, especially like even early, like he just plays like with like a crazy man, like on the field. Even when he wasn't as polished, he was just raw out there, but like going full speed and yeah, trying to take somebody's head off. So yeah, those are probably like my 3 biggest influences at linebacker, but it's a lot of them. I'm definitely Luke Kuechly for sure, trying to get that mental aspect of it and really be 3 steps ahead of the offensive players.
If you could choose any 2 linebackers, past or present, to train with, watch film with, etc., who would you pick and why?
Shoot, I feel like it's only right to do Luke Kuechly for the film. Luke Kuechly and Ray Lewis for of course to get my mental as sharp as possible. But also I feel like Ray Lewis got some crazy workouts for me, especially if I can get present, if I can get like prime Ray Lewis, see the type of workouts he got going on, and also being able to pick his brain. I feel like that'd be crazy. And if I can get that Luke Kuechly, if I can be like that, oh my God, the sky's the limit.
When you're watching film and looking at other linebackers, what specific traits or techniques do you focus on the most?
I mean, I like linebackers that don't end up on their back a lot. Like a lot of people get you can get some tackle and stuff like that, but I like the ones that make sure that the running back isn't falling forward, stuff like that. Like once you get ran over, you lose a little bit. If you get ran over multiple times in the game, I'm like I don't know for sure, but it's still some dogs out there that just don't have as much, that don't got as much strength and stuff like that. But specifically, I look for the guys that like to finish falling forward, the guys that really you see their effort pops out, and regardless of how far away the play is, stuff like that. A lot of those guys that just end up making some plays that you'll never even like, that you'll never really recognize if you don't really love ball. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just like the sturdy guys in the middle that just
Sure.
Yeah, for the most part, the one that's the hammer, never the nail.
I mean, yeah, can't blame you there. I feel like at some point everybody, gets knocked down, but I like when I think when Caleb Downs was a freshman at Alabama, I think he got ran over by a running back from South Florida. But I don't think it's happened to him again. So maybe that's what happens once, and then you guys make sure it never happens again.
I mean, every dog has a day. I'm for sure. Especially if it's like, I remember I watched a lot of Sean Taylor, and it was the dude it was like a huge dude from either UNC or Florida State. He was like 6'2", 240. He had got the best of him one play, but like you still know who the dog. Like they both dogs, and it happens sometimes. But you know who the alphas are on the field when you're watching tape.
What would you say is the biggest strength in your game right now?
I say I got a natural vision for the ball. Like I sometimes it hurts me a little bit, and that's what I'm getting better at. But yeah, I really got a natural knack for the ball. Like I really, that's kind of my thing.
Which
I got
part
7. I said I got 7 of them, but I probably should have had about 20 of them. Like that's probably my thing, or for sure.
Which part of your game have you worked the hardest on this offseason?
I would say I've been trying to play a lot cleaner. I watch a lot of tape, and that ends up sometimes I anticipate plays, and I'll get like a half of a key, and I try to not just play that, and I'll be wrong sometimes. So really being able to probably be a little more slow until you know, and also just route recognition and being able to be as instinctual in the pass game as I am in the run game.
How did your preparation change between a game week and a bye week? Like, what's the biggest difference in your routine?
I say a big difference would probably be like the film study, because it gets to a point of like in a normal game week, I don't know if everybody else can attest to it, but for me, I feel like you can never get as deep as you truly want to. We got another week, you can really like get a good understanding of them and what they do, why they do it, get their key players and see their little tendencies, the offensive lineman, all that stuff, the wide receiver with an inside foot up and all that stuff. While he's like a half a yard inside the hash to when he's outside of it, little stuff like that. I feel like when you got that bye week, it really helps you out. Yeah, that, and also just maintaining the body, knowing that we probably gonna do a lot more padded practices throughout that bye week, kind of because we had that time, but also countering that with just as much prehab and stuff like that. But I feel like the main difference in preparation is for sure just a lot more film.
As I mentioned earlier, Rachel Lindsay called you the leader of the Bulls defense. But let's spread the love a little bit. Who are some of your teammates that fans should keep an eye on for the Bulls this upcoming season?
Man, I got a lot for you. I'm really high on my guys. So the first couple guys I'd probably say Demetrius Ballard, Keontae Bradley. They both got extremely high ceilings. It's some of them that you already know. So I'm trying to get my guy that's really under the radar. Rodnell Davis, he's a redshirt freshman as well. He's gonna show the world a little something. Savion Brown, I don't know if y'all know about him yet, but y'all definitely will after this season. Complete dog. He got injured later on in our season, so he didn't really get that much of a chance to showcase what he got. But yeah, he's a dog. And I'm trying to filter out the under the radar guys. I'm trying to filter and get all the under the radar guys.
Yeah.
And another guy I'd probably say Jakari Bennett. He was a freshman last year as well, and he's one of those guys. He came in automatically like kind of with a more of a veteran kind of savviness to him, and I wouldn't say savvy, but he has the willingness to do whatever it takes. And some freshmen is like you gotta like get like lock in. No, he's already locked in. Sometimes he'll have some mistakes, but he's super intentful on correcting those and being the best he can be. And he's gonna get his opportunity to show that.
For someone who hasn't seen you play, which game should they watch to kind of get a feel for who Red Murdock is on the field?
I'd probably say Ball State. One of my more clean games for sure. Yeah, Ball State. I like that. I like that one. I feel like it gives a better representation of who I am. A lot of people like to reference Liberty as one of my best games, but I'm not. I don't see it the same.
If you could replay one game, whether it's a high school game or a college game, which game would it be and why would you replay it?
Really? I want to say Liberty last year because that was the year when I first wore 41 and we got beat. But to be honest, I'll say Ohio this year. Ohio from 2024. If we win that game, our likelihood of going to the MAC is a lot higher. But really, yeah, I'll say that one that one or Western Michigan, because that was down to the wire and every little thing counted. And I made some costly mistakes in the fourth quarter, so I think that one takes the cake for sure. But Ohio, that was our last loss, so of course, a little part of me wants to get that one back.
Who would you say is the toughest offensive player you've had to line up against? Now, that could be, someone on your own team that you line up every day in practice, or even against another team. And what made it such a challenge?
See, I didn't know you were gonna say it could be I didn't know it could be a team.
It could be a teammate, yeah. Iron sharpens iron, right?
Most definitely. I don't know. I would say, well, I'm gonna do running backs because that's probably the people I get the most wreck with. Teammate, maybe probably the toughest overall was Alj. Well, is Alj because he's really like an all around like do it all back because he's 210 and he's also probably one of the fastest on the team and he's also one of the strongest on the team. Like he really could do it all. So it's any way he might. Well, I ain't gonna say he can run me over, but take an average player, he can run you over, go over you, juke you, whatever. So you really got to be on all 10 with him. So yeah, Alger, he's a tough one to go against every day. But iron sharpens iron, as you say. So it's also fun. I find joy in it. And as far as opposing players, I want to say I think Terrion Stewart. I don't know if that's I might
The
have
running
messed.
back from Bowling Green.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for him. He's a little short, stockier. He got good speed, but the best thing about him is the looseness, and he got like a crazy center. He with him being so short, his balance is insane. Like I remember watching Georgia Tech game. That's a crazy game for him. But when we played him, it was also raining. I missed a couple tackles on him, and I was mad about that. But I got him back in the fourth quarter one time. I got a good little hit on him. But yeah, he's like he's just being so short, close to the ground, and really having some crazy balance. And he can also run. He can run somebody over and jumping over him, being like 5'7". It's crazy. He's a do it all back for sure.
Do you have any game day traditions or specific meals you have to eat before a game, or routines or music that kind of help you lock in for a game?
Yes, sir. So I don't my routine. I like to meditate. I don't really get too hype. I'm naturally like a super hyper person in the first place. I don't need to. I don't need anything extra to kind of get me there. I'm already there naturally. So I like to calm myself down a little bit and be able to make sure I got the clearest mind. So I meditate a lot. I listen to Brent Fayez and Tim's. I don't know if you know that, but like just some real calm music. I might put on the instrumental on it for the day. Some of my reading music is just like a little at a different frequency and just a little instrumental. Some really calm stuff so I can have a real clear thought process. I don't really believe in all that pregame hype stuff anymore. I feel like you perform the best when you're at your best mentally rather than super hype and
Sure.
already run through a wall. It doesn't mean anything. If you're not ready to do your job, you're that hype and you forgot what you're supposed to be doing. Nah, I'm making sure I'm as sharp as I can be mentally. So yeah, I like to calm down with meditation and a little calm music like Brent Fayez and Tim's.
Yeah, and if you get too hype, right, you're not able to sustain that energy throughout a game, and I feel like that's pretty important too.
Absolutely, yeah. Try to stay as poised as possible. That was another thing I really learned a lot this year because I'll be calm and then maybe like halftime will come and I get back to the regular red. I can't meditate while they doing the while they doing the halftime adjustments. So yeah, I've been really intentful on being as calm as possible throughout the entire game.
Well, when you're not playing football, what do you enjoy doing? Do you have any hobbies or passions?
Yes, sir. So I have a dog, and you know that takes a lot of time and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really fun. I like to walk him, take him on little adventures and stuff like that. I don't got a game sense or nothing like that, but I like to read a lot. Shoot, I like to cook. I've been getting the juicing a lot. Like I just made this thing earlier. I do little stuff like that. It's a little boring probably for the next person, but shoot, it's cool for me. A little therapeutic.
You mentioned not having a gaming system, but have you had a chance to play the EA Sports college football game, and are you excited that you're in it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited to be in it. I feel like having my people back home that do play the game, being able to kind of, because when I first got home, they was like, I can't wait till you get on. When I first got to college, I can't wait to get on Madden and play with you and stuff like that. But now they don't even gotta wait anymore. They can just
Right.
get straight to us. So I feel like that's really cool. But I got a chance to play it during Mac Media Day around maybe 2 weeks from now, and it'll be a year. And I played against Dolak and I got dog walked. But other than that, no, sir, I haven't got a chance to play it. But it's all cool. Maybe I'll get a game system when I get on Madden or something.
Well, last year they had your rating as a 74. What do you think your rating is going to be in this year's game?
I know they disrespect the Mac a lot, so I'm not expecting nothing too crazy. But if I were to be doing it, I think I'm gonna smooth at least a 90, maybe like a 92. But I'm content with anything over an 80, knowing how they do the Mac. So yeah, yeah, it's all cool.
What's your favorite thing to eat in the world? Any meal or any particular food? What's your favorite?
Favorite in the world. I don't want to say wings. That's too typical for Buffalo. But I think that might be it. It's just yeah.
I mean, you're in a great spot for
Yeah,
wings, man,
it
for
might be
sure.
wings. Yeah.
Yeah, as we were talking there, I was just up near there last week, and there's not a place you can go and not get good wings. They're all good up there.
Yeah.
When you're on campus or near campus, is there a favorite restaurant you like to go to?
Yeah, so I really got two. So one of our team spots is Saika Sushi. It's right up the street, maybe like 10 minutes away. But talking about wings, the more consistent one, Wing Nuts is really right around the corner, maybe a 2-minute drive away. So yeah, Wing Nuts, that's probably the one.
So Wing Nuts, if you're watching this interview, man, you need to hook Red up with an NIL deal, hook him up with a number 2 combo or a special sauce or something, man.
Yeah.
What's your go-to sauce on wings?
Oh, for Wing Nuts, I'd say the signature, but it's really contingent upon which one I go to. Every place they have their own. They have one that's the best for them. So Wing Nuts, their best is the signature. You go to Bar Bill, they got this Cajun honey butter barbecue, crazy. It's amazing. And then hot teriyaki, that's probably my all-time favorite. It's from America's Best Wings. It's not even that's not a Buffalo has a lot of places that are just like
Sure.
Buffalo spot, but that's one that's like more of a chain spot. They got it back home in Virginia as well.
If you could have a conversation with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would you pick and why?
I mean, all I need is I want to have a conversation with Jesus. That's about it. I don't even need the other 2. Just give me 3 conversations with him. Yeah, and shoot, I feel like it's a lot to talk about with Jesus. Really get the breakdown on everything. I feel like that's the only one that really matters. So yeah, that's it.
Do you have any hidden talents that the world needs to know about, or maybe you have a teammate that has a secret talent that folks don't know about?
See, I don't really have any hidden talent, but I got teammate John Capo, who's also a sleeper for this year. That's when I was trying to get my young guys in there. He's a senior, but he incredible work ethic that I truly admire, and that's one of my closest friends on the team as well. But we were just doing FCA last week, and he's really good with magic tricks. Like I still don't understand. Like some of them you can kind of see, oh, maybe this is how he pulled it off. No, I have no idea still. I've been trying to figure it out for 3.5 years now. So yeah, Capo with his magic tricks for sure.
What would you say is the toughest part of playing college football, especially for younger players that want to play at the college level?
Really just getting adjusted to the schedule. For me, at least, I didn't understand I was going to be spending just about all my time on football. Granted, I love it, but just kind of getting adjusted, knowing that you can't keep that in. Like I'm a really hybrid guy, but it gets to a point you're gonna hit that wall. But yeah, being able to really have your priorities straight, and also the school part, you can't take that. You can't just no, you really have to. You're a student athlete. If you don't got a certain GPA, you're not gonna be able to play. So the toughest part for me is just being able to manage my time in the best way and keep my energy up. So sometimes that may mean not doing some stuff to make sure that you sustain, like you can be consistent with this routine throughout the week. Time management is key for any young player watching out for sure. They get you a schedule, get you and also in your schedule every month, take a day to like really reflect on to take a day out of that month to reflect on the last month, and also plan for the next month, like you'll be surprised with reflecting like that. That keeps you on track because you're going to get caught up in going through the motions, and that does a good job of keeping you from doing that.
If fans want to support you or buy some Red Murdock merchandise, where should they go?
So in the link in my bio in Instagram, I don't know if it's in Twitter yet, but it's going to have the link tree and Athletes Thread and the NIL store. They both have like the Red Murdock merch and my jerseys. I know Athletes Thread, they have a lot of custom made shirts and stuff. The Bash Bros stuff with Dolak, but I also have a couple of Singlet, like some just straight Red Murdock shirts as well. So yeah, that definitely just hit the link in my bio on Instagram. It's the same exact handle as Twitter. Yeah.
All right. Well, a couple of fun questions, and we'll get you out of here. If you were to describe your playing style using a movie title, what movie title would it be?
It's kind of corny, but I'm gonna say Fast and Furious. It's straight to the point.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna play some Would You Rather. Would you rather have a game-winning pick six or a 20 tackle performance?
Does the 20 tackle performance come with the win?
Yeah, let's say both of them are wins, but
I still want the game winning pick six. Yeah, that's I don't think you can ever take that one away. During Akron, we had a really close game, and we were up by a little bit, but they had a chance to come back. It was like one of the final drives, and I had shipped the ball away from the tight end, recovered it, and I'm on the way to the touchdown. And then I hear the refs do the play there, talk about forward progress. And that was one of the best moments of my life for them 2 seconds. So yeah, I feel like winning a game on your own on a defensive touchdown, I don't think you can replace that feeling.
All right. If you had to pick any letter in the alphabet to win a fight against the other letters, which letter are you going to pick and why?
I think I'm thinking Z. But it got to be the Z with the how some people put the cross in the middle.
Yeah.
I feel like he got something to him. Maybe just got extra edges or something. I don't know. I feel like if I had to pick one, that would be it.
When I think, I'm sure this is way before your time, but like when I think of Z, I think of like Zorro, like and him like using the sword to make the Z. So like it's got to be sharp,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I said he got to have the one in the middle and get extra edges.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Coach Limbo comes in and says, "No need for pads today, boys. Grab your running shoes. We're doing laps." What position group does your mind immediately go to that caused it?
Wide receivers. No doubt about it. Yeah. I feel like throughout history, it's always going to be the wide receivers or the DBs. No matter who you ask, it's always going to be one of them. Yeah,
the DBs is by far the most common answer. I feel like every interview we always say that, but it's true. Like DBs are the most common. Even we've interviewed, I think, 2 or 3 DBs now, and they said the DBs.
Yeah. See, it was pretty close, but I feel like our guys, we got a good veteran group, so they might be a little cool now.
All right, Red. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been awesome getting to know you a bit more, and we'll be watching closely as you lead the Bulls this season.
Yes, sir. No problem at all. I appreciate the continued support.
If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're listening in podcast form, please rate and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thank you all for your support. And until the next time, we are the G5 High.